36-year-old Robin Barlow is bleeding out. Just minutes ago, his femoral artery burst open, spilling litres of blood onto the pavement at the Etep Rural Hospital.
Everybody has them? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Up in head. Kilo of his.
6 weeks ago, Robin was shot through the leg with an arrow.
But from the surgical side, the situation is complicated. It's an old injury and there's considerable risk, but yeah, we do our best.
Robin crawled for days down a mountain to get from his village to this nearby small town. But the health centre here couldn't help him.
So at this moment, I'm finding it very difficult to help the patients.
Helping more patients.
Last year, the local health centre was knocked down after it was announced a new one would be built. So far, it's just a slab and the temporary facility isn't up to scratch.
Patients' lives are on the line. They're not feeling happy because they know that Etep is far away, so they feel worried.
No.
They only come in the mornings and the afternoons to give Robin a painkiller injection. I was so angry. It's a main hospital. How can they do this to us?
Robin's wife Stella paid for a car to drive him over a rough bush track to Etep Hospital.
Etep Hospital is one of the most remote health centres in this part of Papua New Guinea. To get from Etep to the nearest major centre usually takes people a day on a boat. Fortunately, we've managed to get a ride with a helicopter that's bringing in vital supplies and staff.
This helicopter brought in the surgeon, the oxygen and blood testing reagents needed for Robin's surgery.
Everyone out of Etep at time 3-5.
Etep has been struggling with a lack of supplies and funding. The hospital was forced to close for more than a month because it hadn't received its government funding for a year.
No rural facility should go to the extent of operating without any funds. I mean, it's solely the responsibility of the government, the people higher up, to make sure that funding should be distributed on time. Human resources should be provided. Medical equipment, consumables should be provided.
Fortunately for Robin Barlow, they reopened, despite still not having the money.
We had to open because more lives are at stake, and we had to open, but we opened with no funds.
Other nearby health centres face similar problems. This woman was lucky to get an emergency medivac after almost dying in childbirth.
She lost a lot of blood when she delivered the baby because there was no medicine, there was no health worker. The health centre closed last year because there were no health workers and there are no roads for vehicles to pick us up.
Back in Etep, there are only 2 bags of matching blood. As the team operates, a volunteer donates half a litre of her own. The medical team must fashion makeshift clamps as they don't have the ones they need. But despite all the challenges, Robin Barlow survives the surgery.
So we're grateful that the hospital is open despite all the shortfall on medication and equipment and oxygen. But we're thankful that it's open. So should we close another month, we could have lost these patients.
Delivering basic care here is a struggle, let alone dealing with a pandemic.
It's a challenge for us to even get one patient or one person getting vaccinated. So for most are concerned about other diseases. And if one presents with this case, they wouldn't go for testing as well, for the fear of their people, their family rejecting them.
The morning after his surgery, Robin Barlow is still coming to terms with everything he's been through.
So when I came here, I feel like God has saved me.
A week later, this mobile phone vision shows Robin back on his feet. But the hospital remains on its knees, still waiting for its funding. Natalie Whiting, ABC News, Etep.